Here's the bottom line. The Media Shield law, which I am prepared to support, and I know Senator Graham supports, still leaves an unanswered question, which I've raised many times. What is a journalist today in 2013? We know it's someone who works for Fox or AP, but does it include a blogger? Does it include someone who's tweeting? Are these people journalists and entitled to constitutional protection? We need to ask 21st century questions about a provision in our Constitution that was written over 200 years ago.
Gentlemen, let's turn to the IRS scandal. As I said, we got a lot of ground to cover here.
Hello again. This is Bill Jones with recapturefederalism.com. I'm coming to you again today. Today we're going to discuss, in the title of this podcast is Enslavement of the American People, Part 7. It's an ongoing series. And this subtitle is Oaths, Official Misconduct. We're going to watch, and we have watched a clip again of Mr. Durbin, Senator from Illinois, my senator. And I've already done one podcast on this, and I wanted to go and do another podcast because the comments that Mr. Durbin made are significant. They're almost an acknowledgement, or are an acknowledgement of crimes against American humanity, against the human rights of every citizen in this country. He's talking about a shield law, and he's talking about a conspiracy, of working together with other senators. He specifically names the shield law that South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is proposing, a shield law. Well, that violates the constitutional rights of every citizen in the United States. The Constitution, First Amendment, has to do speech and free press. What do we need a shield law for? 236 years ago, it'll be 237 years anniversary of day one of our country. The Declaration of Independence gave the authority to the representatives. They're supposed to have the consent of the people. We have free press and free speech, First Amendment rights. That's for the individual citizens. Why would we need a shield law? We have the Constitution. That is a shield law. And I'll show you where there's violations in the state constitutions. And you get the basic human rights that are there, the rights of every citizen. This is a sham. They have no authority. The parties do not have an authority to be the government. It's identity theft. The government is the people. The government of the people, by the people, for the people. That's what Lincoln said. So up on the screen I have the Illinois Constitution, Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 4, freedom of speech in Illinois. And as I said in the last podcast, there is no freedom of press in the state constitution of Illinois. Because what is free press? It's free speech. It's an extension of free speech. Illinois, for instance, all persons may speak, write, publish freely, being responsible for the abuse of that liberty. In trials for liable, both civil and criminal, the truth, when published with good motives and for justifiable ends, shall be a sufficient defense. What do we need a shield law for? A federal shield law. And they're going to decide what a journalist is. The word journalist isn't used. And in this Constitution, Bill of Rights from 1970 isn't all that old. You don't have any shield. The right is for all persons to speak and publish. When I publish my stuff, I hit the publish button. I'm responsible for what I say, the truth. Then you see farther down, Section 4 is freedom of speech. Section 6 talks about searches, seizures, privacy, and interceptions. The people shall have the right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and other possessions against unreasonable searches, seizures, invasions of privacy, or interceptions of communications by eavesdropping devices or other means. No warrant shall issue without probable cause, supported by affidavit particularizing in describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. You know, the journalist, Jim Rosen, under his state constitution, you know, look at that, the basic Bill of Rights. His constitutional rights were violated by lies. Which brings me to the subject today. The oath. People are supposed to have oaths, follow those, believe in the oaths, and be true to those oaths. And what you're looking at now, it's the current oath, which was enacted in 1884. I guess that's a long time for Senator Durbin, but it's still in effect. It's the oath he takes, and Senator Graham and all the other senators and congressmen take. It's a congressional oath of office. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. What? There's the oath. And now when they're passing all these bills, which in effect are enslaving and violating the 13th Amendment rights of the people, slavery and involuntary servitude, because they're violating the Constitution, the constitutional rights of the individual citizens. They're not supposed to do that. They've sworn an oath to defend the Constitution. And here they are. They're violating their own oath. That's an official misconduct, and you can go farther in. That's just a start. That would be one charge. And then what they actually, and that's the violation of the oath of office. And then you go further. You'd have the violations of the state constitution, Bill of Rights. You'd have in some of these bills that they passed, they're in effect racketeering and bribery. I mean, they put themselves above the law with, for instance, lobbying. No, it's lobbying. No, it's bribery. You know, quid pro quo on their things. Now, also, there's oaths for people and their employees of the federal government, employees of the people, and they have an oath also. Now, this is the federal official's oath. It's similar, but a little bit differently. And it's, I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance the same, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will and faithfully discharge, I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office in which I am about to enter. So help me God. It's almost the same, but this is a type of oath with the Attorney General, the head of the IRS. They would take these. So they've sworn an oath to do their job and defend the Constitution. How are they doing with that? Not doing too good. Went back to that, read that state constitution about privacy and seizure. We got all these records and phone things they're seizing. One would have to wonder if why don't you just do that? Why doesn't every citizen in the United States file charges against these officials for violation of their constitutional rights? And also the Democratic Party. It's a conspiracy. They're all getting together to do the dirty here on every citizen in the United States. And maybe every citizen in the United States, in every county, in every state, file a lawsuit. Criminal charges against these people. And then while you're at it, the next thing you know, you need to recoup some of your money that the banks have taken because of the laws that have been passed, and how much money individuals have lost, like at MF Global and things like that. General Motors bondholders, and they nationalized General Motors. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe we should have some civil lawsuits too against the Democrat Party, bankrupt them right out of business. Till the next time, have a nice day.